up, YouTube? I'm back. So this was the last episode of God of High School season one, and it was a great one because a lot of things happened and we learned some new information. So I can't wait to review this episode because it was crazy. But anyway, man, in last week's episode, obviously we know that Jiggle actually absorbed the key and he became an angel demon, sort of, and he became really, really strong. We saw in this week's episode, we saw Mira, Mori, and Dawi all fight together against Jagal, and they weren't able to keep up. He was that strong. He was really, really strong, and he was fast, and he could hit them without really hitting them, which was kind of interesting. And then obviously we know that Mori has been through a lot in the last few episodes, so he was kind of weaker. He was kind of tired, and at one point in the episode, I actually thought that Daiwi was kind of dead, that sacrificed himself. It reminded me a lot of what Neji did in the Great Fort Ninja War in Naruto when he protected Hinata. It reminded me a lot of that, but obviously Daiwi is not dead, and I'm glad that he's not because he's a great character. But the fact that he wanted to do that to protect his friends, is really, really cool. And because of that, we saw someone who looks like Mori in a flashback. It kind of triggered some of Mori's memory when he saw Daiwi, kind of sacrificing himself for him. So that was kind of cool to see the flashback. We saw a little bit more of what we've been seeing in the last few episodes, but now it was much clearer of who that was. Obviously, it looks a lot like Mori because it is basically Mori. What I'm thinking is that Mori is basically the reincarnation of Satan Teisei. That's how they call him. He's a god, obviously. And I'm thinking that he's a reincarnation, because we saw him as a kid in some flashbacks. So that's probably it. But that's the first time really that we got to see him. We saw him in some flashback, but it was really the animation for that flashback. It was really hard to know what was going on, but it was great to see um, what Mori really is. He was able to kind of summon a big weapon, a pole, basically like Goku in Dragon Ball. So that was quite interesting because before the show started, it was compared to Dragon Ball. So he has a pole too that he can grow and get smaller. So I thought that was pretty cool. But like I said, he's a god and his name is the Monkey King. So this is interesting because I'd have to go read about the mythology behind the Monkey King. I know that there's something in the Japanese mythology with Son Goku and the ape, like in Dragon Ball, but that's Korean. This show is Korean, so it's gonna be interesting to see how this goes. I'm gonna go read about it because it was quite interesting. I really like that we got to see Mori going God mode against Jagal. He basically destroyed Jagal with some of his attacks, especially his last attack that he used. He basically used his environment and threw lightning at Jagal, and that basically defeated him. It was crazy, man. The animation, obviously, the OST for this anime has been amazing, and it was amazing today in this week's episode. Everything about this fight was amazing, man. It was something special, and they did it justice. I didn't read the webtoon, but I'm guessing that they did it justice because it was great, man. It was amazing. After Mori defeated Jago kind of transformed into a monster, which was kind of gross, because at first behind on his back we could see some people getting out of his body, which one it seems like was the grandson of the one of the six. So I'm guessing he absorbed the grandson, but it was weird, man. He then transformed into this monster, which was disgusting. And then we got to see kind of the final fight of the episode. We got to see Mori, Daiwi, Mira, and Illupio all fight together to destroy that monster, and I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was a little corny, the way that they were fighting and talking at the same time with the music. I didn't really like the music, but it was cool. It was a cool last fight for this week's episode, obviously. So yeah, man, it was a great fight all around. And the way that it ended with Jiggle basically eating himself and killing himself, I thought it was kind of sad, but yeah. At the end of the episode, we got to see the last member of the six, and she's seems to be pretty strong. She says that she's the strongest in the world and that she's the progenitor of, the human race or something like that. That was pretty weird, but she's the one that can, basically give a wish to anybody that won, the God of High School. And obviously, because Mira, Daiwi, and Mori were the last team standing, they were the one that had the wish, So I thought that was pretty cool. Obviously, at first Mori wanted to, I think, save his grandpa, and then she said something like she can't grant a wish to people that are already dead or something like that. So at some point I thought that uh Taijin, Mori's grandfather, was actually dead, which I was kind of scared of, but he's alive. But yeah, it was a crazy moment in the episode. But what Mori did is basically heal everybody that had big injuries, so Ilupio's friends were all right. So it was amazing, man. But yeah, man, after she used her power, the member of the six, she became a child, so that was funny. But hopefully we'll get to know more about her, because there's some things that she said that was pretty interesting. She said that his grandpa was still alive, but he was weak. And how does she know that? There's a lot of things that it seems that she knows. At the end of the episode, at the end of the episode, Mori, he fell asleep for 3 months, and she already knew when he was going to wake up. She knew who he was. He called him the Monkey King or something like that. She actually knew a lot of things. So I'm wondering how long she's been alive. So yeah, man, there's a lot of answers that we need to be answered. There's a lot of questions. So yeah, man, I hope that we'll get to know more in the next season. Hopefully they renew, the series, because it was a great season. But yeah, like I said, Mori was asleep for 3 months, which is crazy, man. 3 months being asleep because he used that godly power. And when he woke up, Mira and Dawi basically told him that for him to recuperate his memories that are sealed, he has to go to his place of origin, where he's from. So that's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen in the next season, because it's going to be more adventurous than what we saw in this season. This season it was more battles, it was more combats, and kind of story. And in the next season we'll see more adventures. So I think that's going to be awesome to see Mira, Daiwi, and Mori go visit his hometown, basically. Then there's also Ilupio that has to go on his own adventure because the key has been scattered, and he has to go recuperate the key because he's the guardian of the key. So all of that is going to be really interesting, and I can't wait to see what's coming next for this series. We also got to see Mori's grandfather. That was the last scene of the episode, I think, and he said that he trusts Mori and he knows that he's stronger than everyone, basically, and that he has to defeat him. I don't know why. Maybe because he's a sacrifice, he's gonna become the vessel of a god or something like that. It seems like Mori will have to fight Taijin, which is interesting. But yeah, man, let me know what you thought about this week's episode in the comments down below, and let me know what you thought about this first season of God of High School, because it was really good in my opinion. The animation, the fighting, the OSTs, the story, even though there's a lot of things that we still don't know, I thought it was a great first season for this series. I can't wait for the second season. I don't know when it's gonna come out, but I can't wait, man. But it was a great season, a great final episode. It was a 13 episode season, so I'm wondering if they're going to do that for the next season or if it's gonna be longer, So we'll have to see. But yeah, man, it was great. So obviously, I'm not going to do any other reviews for God of High School for the foreseeable future because it's not coming back for a while. But I will start to do other anime reviews like Boku no Hero Next Generation and One Piece. I have to catch up because I'm behind right now for these animes, but it's coming back on the weekend, so stay tuned for that. I'm thinking about Black Clover, but there's a lot of filler right now that I don't really want to review. But stay tuned, man, because there's some animes coming back this year and next, like IQ, and Dr. Stone, Promise Neverland. There's a lot of things coming back, so stay tuned for all of that. But like, comment, subscribe, it would help my channel a lot, and follow me at Anime Specialist on Twitter and Instagram, man. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Anime Specialist out. Peace.